Joining me now, celebrity and royal commentator Kinsey Schofield. Kinsey, there's so much to unpack with the scandal involving Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. It has plunged the monarchy into almost an unprecedented crisis, really the biggest we've seen since the abdication of the Nazi sympathising King Edward VIII. Now, if you're wondering how well Andrew copes under pressure, let's remind the audience of how he went during this ill-advised interview with the BBC back in 2019.
She was very specific about that night. She described dancing with you and you profusely sweating, and that she went on to have possibly...
There's a slight problem with the sweating because I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the time, and that was... Oh, actually, yes. I didn't sweat at the time because I had suffered what I would describe as an overdose of adrenaline in the Falklands War when I was shot at, and I simply it was almost impossible for me to sweat.
Kinsey, I'm lost for words. Not only did he lie repeatedly throughout that interview, but some of the lies were ridiculous.
Ridiculous, and you see now that we've had this DOJ jump that now we have this interview to compare it to. He lies about the picture. It's a picture of a picture of a picture. Well, there's Ghislaine saying, I'm there. That's the real picture. This interview is going to haunt him more than he could ever imagine, with investigators combing through these emails now through evidence that they're pulling out of his home, and this BBC interview.
Now, have a look at this clip of that same BBC journalist who did the interview back in 2019. She now feels sympathy for him.
We talk a lot about people's sort of state of mind and health and all the rest of it. And I suppose I do feel... I feel concern, actually, as I'm watching this story unfold. And I suppose that two things can be simultaneously true, that it can have been a long time coming. But when it does, there is somebody at the centre of it, and it is a father, and there are children, and there is a mental health question.
Kinsey, what do you make of that assessment there? Do you feel sympathy for him and his mental health struggles at the moment?
I mean, I will say in January, Kate Manzi reported in the Times that Prince William was deeply concerned for his uncle's mental health and how Andrew would cope after everything was taken away. He supported the king, but was worried about the consequences. Legally, Andrew's mental health only matters if it affected his state of mind at the time of the alleged offenses or his ability to face trial today, if that comes to fruition. Morally, it might be a different story.
Now, as sources told People magazine that Prince Harry is getting frustrated with people comparing him to his uncle Andrew. The insider said Harry served his country, did the job well and never engaged in misconduct, yet lost security and housing while Andrew was protected for years. Kinsey, what's your take on that?
I mean, well, you already mentioned one Windsor sympathizer, a Nazi sympathizer. We saw Harry in a Nazi costume. We've seen him use racist language in videos. I think one thing Harry and Meghan and Andrew haven't, I mean, I'm just saying he's not perfect, but one thing that they do have in common is needing to be more careful about the company they keep. Lily's godfather and bestie to Meghan, Tyler Perry, is facing 2 separate civil lawsuits from actors alleging sexual assault, battery, and misconduct. He says he's innocent. Chrissy Teigen has a horrible digital footprint of literally harassing children online. Meghan's friend, Whitney Wolford, has recently been exposed for using the N-word. If the Epstein fallout should teach Harry anything, it's that your circle reflects your character.
It does, and yeah, Chrissy, we've got to talk about Teigen down the track because, yeah, you're right, her digital footprint is terrible. She's deleted a lot of it, but you never really delete anything from the internet. Now, people have been digging through Virginia Giuffre's memoir, Nobody Girl, for more references about the former prince. And in the memoir, Giuffre revisited the night she met the royal. Apparently, Ghislaine Maxwell asked the prince to guess Giuffre's age. Andrew guessed correctly, saying 17, adding, "My daughters are just a little younger than you." Kinsey, it's a little bit creepy.
Yeah, it's a lot creepy. Coverage of Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie have, I think it's been consistent. I think the girls still love and support their father despite horrible headlines like these. They've remained publicly loyal to their dad. They've maintained close ties to their mom as well. And behind the scenes are often understood to help with reputational and logistical matters during difficult periods. It was, in fact, Beatrice who helped Andrew prepare for that infamous BBC interview. But the scale and persistence of the Jeffrey Epstein scandal could ultimately test just how sustainable that loyalty is going forward.